Morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to a special meeting of the Public Works Committee. One thing on the agenda, or two things on the agenda. Building services, Tim?
Yeah, good. First item is seeking approval for elevated, repair the elevator at 242 only in a site office building by replacing the hydraulic tank for an amount not to exceed $28,897.60. Otis Elevator submitted the quote for $30,000 and $37,037.25. McGee Elevator quoted $38,034 for the same repair.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Scanlon,
Aye.
Mendes. Aye.
Okay, that was approved.
And I have four full budget training occurs, for the generator repair and the other three. Meaning to the elevator, I'll do all three.
Yep.
Yes. First one is transfer $6,439 from courthouse renovation, A1620.525020 to Meadows contracts, A1630.549. That's for the generator repair as a matter. The next three.
These are all related. One's for the
The
generator.
next three are related to the generator. This one will add to the generator repair.
Yeah, we can do a bunch of it.
Yes. Okay. The next one is amount of $5,230 from COB Renovations, basic. 5,000 to 42 contract, A1622 to 59,000. Next transfer is for amount of 16,000. Oakdale renovation, A1623.525,000 to moving to contracts, A1622.549,549,000. And the final transfer is for an amount of $930 moving from central kitchen renovations, A1628.525,000. Moving to 242 contracts, A1622.549,000.
I'll motion we approve all four transfers. Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
McCarty,
Yes.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Scanlon,
Aye.
Mendes.
Yes.
There are no no's, that passed. Okay, anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Recording stopped.
They're calling December 3rd, 2025, Otsego County Board of Representatives meeting to order. Roll call of members.
Frazier,
Here.
Powers,
Here.
Brockway,
Here.
Caton, here, Kennedy,
Present.
Mickle,
Here.
Bliss, absent, Marietta, absent, McCarty,
Here.
Wilbur,
Here.
Mendez,
Here.
Martini,
Here.
Scanlon,
Here.
Basile.
Here.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're now at the part of our meeting where we extend privilege of the floor to anybody who'd like to address the board. If you're interested in addressing, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bill Hayes, town of Hartwick. You want a street address? No?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes. 733 County Highway 59, 2% home to more than baseball. So I just have been thinking about the sheriff's agreement with ICE. That's been mentioned in the newspapers recently. Apparently it was signed October. He suggests he has the purview, which he does, to train his staff, his officers, corrections and otherwise. That's something that's essential. But I'm not convinced that he has the authorization to sign an agreement whereby his staff become basically agents of ICE to issue warrants and take other activities, training them in the law and in performing local law enforcement activities is wonderful, necessary, and I applaud that. He tends to be very current with that, and I appreciate it. But I just bring attention to the fact that while this 287 federal legislation and has been around for some time, there have been changes, significant changes made by the federal government, the current administration, to the existing, longstanding existing regulations and details. Specifically, it eliminates the requirement that ICE provide supervisory level staff to supervise the design and operations of local law enforcement agents who are designated to do some work with them. It's no longer supervisory personnel that are required to oversee this. It is any officer who could be a new person, line staff, with no supervisory responsibilities to supervise this program. The training, the details of what kind of training that ICE provides to local law enforcement agency personnel is no longer specified. It used to be, that was deleted. It used to be that the memorandum of agreement work for 3 years' time, at which time it would be reviewed and potentially reviewed, renewed or not, or revised. It is now open-ended, no requirement that it be reviewed, that it be renewed, subject to review by local agencies or ICE. It's open-ended. So lack of, a elimination of the supervisory role for ICE staff to be authorized to give guidance and direction to local law enforcement entities. No supervisory requirement, open-ended, no review and renewal. And the notion that that the sheriff, and I don't know the answer to this question, I just raised the question. While he's authorized certainly and should be making sure that his staff, particularly in this case, the corrections facility supervisors, that they are not only trained in the law, but have basically become ICE agents of ICE. And I'm concerned that having corrections folks become authorized agents of ICE and answerable to ICE on these matters, not to the sheriff, is very worrisome. And I think that this is something that people need to take a look at. It's not a matter of training at this point, it's a matter of becoming agents. And I don't know whether the sheriff actually has the authority and the authorization from the county board to enter into that kind of agreement. The city of Camden in Oneida has become authorized to become not only just jail warrant issuing officers, but to participate in team efforts in their own and any other communities that their police chief chooses. I don't know that it's appropriate that corrections officials in the jail here become warrant officers to issue warrants. I don't know that they have the training. ICE may train them, but I'm not sure that they have the authority to do that within the county. It's a county entity. The sheriff is answerable to you. I think this needs to have a closer look as to what the sheriff is and his staff are doing. He's the exception to most of the counties in the state. You know, there's maybe 6 or 8 counties who have some kind of agreement with ICE. He's the exception. Craig Dumont next door in Delaware County has not entered into this agreement. Parker County, Schoharie County. I'm not sure why he feels it's necessary to do this, and I'm not sure that he has the authority to do this.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I say. Thank you.
Is there anyone else like to address the board this morning? I would like you to state your name and address, please, and we have a 3-minute time limit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Boyd Richards, 66 Susquehanna Avenue here in Cooperstown. I'd like to add my voice to the gentleman that just spoke. I'm very concerned about the agreement with our local sheriff in support of the current U.S. government's treatment of immigrants to ICE. The optics are very poor. It seems very contrary to the resolution that was passed in Cooperstown in support of immigrants, and recognizing that often justice isn't served to immigrants here seeking legal status, otherwise behaving very legally. I understand that Oneonta's also passed a similar resolution. And I think the optics of having our sheriff and sheriff's department involved in ICE in any way just is incongruent with those resolutions and the will of the majority of the individuals here in the county. So I'd like my voice to be heard in opposition to that agreement.
Thank you. Anyone else today?
Good morning. I'm Paul Mendelson. I live in 231 Mill Road, Charterville, New York. And I'm here for pretty much the same reason. We were told a year ago that ICE was going to be deporting the worst of the worst, and I think everyone pretty much supported that. That's quite defensible. And since then, and before the sheriff's department here signed on with them, things have changed considerably. People are ICE. People working for ICE, their qualifications have been significantly reduced. Their training has been reduced. They show up in mass, no identification, whisk people away to private prisons where there is no way to follow them up. They have no recourse. At this point, they're going after people who were brought here as 4-year-old children, and again, whisking them away, perhaps to the country they were brought from, or perhaps to some troubled African country that they have no connection with at all. At this point, the president would like to go after people who are, well, they have been going after people who are here legally, one of whom we probably know of, a hotel worker from Cooperstown recently. He would like to go after naturalized citizens, which is clearly illegal. There's nothing in the Constitution that allows for that. So as the mission creep from ICE continues to become more and more illegal. I have no other way to say that, but as they defy the law in greater degree, is there no point at which Otsego County says, you know what? We don't want to be a part of this, but we're signed on at this point, so be careful who you get in bed with. I'll say only this, close with, my parents, my grandparents were deported to Auschwitz in 1942. The people who came to the door were just low functioning bureaucrats doing their job. There will be midterms a year from now, and a lot of what has happened in the last year and perhaps over the next year is going to be called to account. And we will be asked to account for what we have been cooperating with. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else like to address the board this morning?
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mary Ann Phelan from Cooperstown. I'd like to add my voice to the concerns about the matter that you were just discussing. Less than 10% of the counties in New York State have signed on to that agreement, and with good reason. At the very least, I think such activity should be restricted to people for whom there is a judicial warrant, not just an ICE warrant, which has become meaningless. We all have examples, including local examples, of people who have been, in effect, kidnapped, lives disrupted, the lives of their families disrupted, the lives of their friends disrupted. And I think we need to think very, very seriously about this business. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience this morning like to address the board? Thank you. We need to approve the minutes of November 5th, 2025, which are online.
Approval of the minutes from November 5th, 2025.
We have a motion, second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes approved. Presentation of petitions, communications, and notices? None today. Special presentation. We were supposed to have Assemblyman Miller here today. He has suffered a bout of the flu, so we will be rescheduling the Assemblyman. Reports of standing committees. Public Works, Representative McCarty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met on November 13th at 9 a.m. Rich Bremer, the highway superintendent, came in. Rich requested approval for the superintendent to send a conference, a winter conference in January for $1,000. We approved that. Rich Bremer requested approval to renew a resolution 36920231101 for hiring a temporary HMEO position. We approved that. Rich requested approval to extend the resolution 32320241002 through 26 to increase the amount to cost not to exceed $2 million for a bridge replacement project on 58A, which is CHIPS money. We approved that. Rich also requested approval to amend resolution 31420250903 to increase not to exceed amount to $65,876.54. We approved that. Rich also requested approval to amend resolution 31320250903 to purchase a sod loader at a cost not to exceed $380,000, which is be funded through CHIPS money. Rich also stated that the highway department is struggling to find employees and struggling to keep trucks operated through the winter. Tim Donahue was in, asked for approval to accept a municipal bid, solid waste bid. For picking up the garbage at all the county buildings. $7,920 to Casella, which was low bid. Also, Tim informed the committee department credit card purchases. Tim and Monica, the deputy county attorney, briefed the committee about the concerns with the T-Mobile tower that they want to put on this building. There was some questions asked and they're still working on that. Tim informed the committee about the elevator not working down at 242. We had a meeting before this meeting and we approved getting that fixed and some transfers to pay for it. And we meet again on December 11th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Any questions for the chair this morning?
Question. What do you think is limiting them from gaining employees at the highway department? Or did,
One of the big concerns
Rich,
of what
sorry.
happened was we always hired laid construction workers in the wintertime.
okay,
Well, since the last year or so, they raised the rate of unemployment to $850 a week for unemployment. So that kind of doesn't make sense for people to come and work when they could draw unemployment. That's one of the, and there's not really a lot of people out there with CDL licenses anymore that want to plow snow, I guess.
It's very difficult to get a CDL license.
And yeah, it's harder to get a CDL license now. We even offered to pay for people to get that.
yeah, okay, I was gonna say that.
So if you know anybody,
Any other questions? Thank you. Intergovernmental Affairs, Representative Kate.
Thank you, Chairman. IGA met November 10th at 11 a.m. And first up, we had Phil Kaus, Director of Veteran Services, asking for a budget transfer and modification for the Dwyer grant to fund into his line item, and that was approved. And then he requested a stipend to run the grant program for up to 15 hours. That was approved in IGA along with admin, but we have since been instructed that the director cannot receive that stipend, that he would have to hire a part-time employee to administer that. He's very grateful to have that grant to help the veterans in the county. Then we had Steve Wilson requested removal of Rick Brockway from America's 250 due to his other commitments that he's got, and appointed myself to replace him, and that was approved. Tammy Harris from planning asked to extend the contract with Otsego Express for Route 12 just through the end of January while they were completing the public notice. That has since been approved with DOT, so that Route 12 will be ending at the end of the year. Also requested approval for Otsego Express for routes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for annual cost of $739,130 for the year. And then contract for extensions of a 3.5 annual increase thereafter. That was approved. We went into executive session for a bit, and when we came out, there was no further business. So that was it for IGA. Our next meeting is December 9th at 11 a.m.
Thank you. Any questions for the chair this morning?
When did the news about the IGA, about Belmont being able to receive that grant?
That came from personnel last week. Last
Yeah.
week.
We, if you don't mind, Chair, I
I
will
do.
talk a little bit about it. It came up with, at one point, we said that the whole request should be reviewed.
Right.
And when it was taken to personnel, then it was kind of noticed that we were requesting to have him have a stipend, which the personnel office told me they've spent many years regularizing the idea of stipends and putting them into more appropriate ways of having people be compensated without a stipend. So the practice is that we don't do stipends. Now, the sheriff does get a stipend but that's a different case for him. So we didn't want to go against the recommendations of our personnel office. And the way that the grant is written, it is 100% okay to use that money for a salary position. So I called Bill and told him that, and he said he was very happy to hear that, and he'd be looking forward to hiring a new person to do
That was my follow-up question.
So
Like, will a
finally,
position be posted? Yeah.
that there will be a position, he will be coming to ask.
Could that request have gone through Penny's office before it came to committee? Was there a signature on it?
There was not a signature on it from Penny. That's
So
kind of what stopped it all.
get people in the future, possibly when we get those, has everybody signed off? They should sign off before we move forward. Because this was a glitch that probably could have been prevented if that had been signed off on by the personnel first.
I don't think that was understood that that was the process. That's probably why.
Okay. Any other questions today? Human Services, Representative Martini.
Thank you, Chairman Frazier. We met on November 10th at 9 a.m. And before I forget, we'll meet again on December 9th at 9 a.m. Most of the business was fairly straightforward. First up was Community Services Director, Jeanette Havlis. Again, I'm just going to keep pushing on this. She needs to pay 730 court orders. This batch was $195,000. And this is money that we can't really budget for, but it is money that we have to pay. This is the way the state law is written. Hopefully we will have clarity on if the state plans to change or what our recourse could be. Next up was the Department of Social Services. This is the time of year when all of the annual contracts that we do and that we do every single year, we just get them into the pipeline before January. So a lot of these are regular annual contracts. One thing is that as of the admin meeting, at least, and I've not heard that anything has changed, HEAP funding is still unknown for this coming HEAP season because of what is happening at the federal level. The state is uncertain what we'll be doing at our level because that's money that flows from the feds to the state, which means that what does that mean? It means that we don't know what is happening.
There was something on the news about it. It's gonna start up.
Yeah, it's gonna start up again?
Yeah.
Okay.
January.
The 5th of January?
First.
1st of January. All right,
That's
so,
what, that was what was on the news. I don't know.
so folks need to,
That was 1st of December.
yeah, I was gonna say, that
December?
gives you.
That was 1st of December. That just started this last week.
All right, so, yay, never mind. So in terms of normal DSS reporting, in terms of housing, the OFL shelter held 6 families. Motel 88 was utilizing 6 rooms. Crossroads 17 rooms. Genie's Dream Motel was 1 room, and agency housing, all tin tiny homes are being used. In Oneonta, there were 7 calls to OPD. 2 of those calls involved DSS housed individuals. Office for the Aging, again, it's a lot of annual contracts that we do every year, and I will let you know which ones those are in just a minute. Department of Health was then in There were a couple of flu cases reported since October 1st. The Department of Health would like to remind you there's still time to get your flu shot. And there were 14 lab confirmed cases in October. And again, there's still time. So in your packet, the things that came out of the DSS committee are resolutions numbers 385 through 392, numbers 396 through 411. Maybe that's it. Any questions that you have?
Any questions for the chair today?
Mostly just a comment. On the 730s. So we got a shared forwarded email about what another county has decided to do with regards to those bills, and that was that they decided to not pay them. So I don't encourage us to follow that route, but at this point, I think that more discussion. It doesn't seem very hopeful that we'll get a reprieve to having the state pay half. The state previously paid as much as all, correct? Then we were paying half. So I think that that's a place where we can put our attention when we start asking NISAC what we think is an important topic to drill in on. And so somewhere between not paying it and paying it all.
So yeah, there are now, I think, 2 or 3 counties that are not paying. And it'll be, I think there are now a bunch of other counties watching to see if those counties, what happens to them.
I suspect the state will withhold money from other areas.
Oh, I suspect.
I was gonna say, if they start holding money from our CHIPS program, you're talking $4 or $5 million, you know?
Well, they wouldn't hold, they would withhold what we,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so that's substantial. I mean,
Yeah.
within a year's time, we're gonna be close to $1 million if not over at this rate.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 730s. Yes, they're
Yes.
fast approaching being a fourth or a fifth of our chips.
Right.
Yes.
So Washington County, one of those that we spoke of lately. And what they're asking for is you are mandating us to take these people and put them in a state institution for rehabilitation. Can we do it ourselves? Use that money for someone local to help rehabilitate these people instead of sending them to the state? That's one question they're asking. And the other is, why, since 2021, did you, when you were in 2021, they were paying 50%, the state was. So our bills basically doubled and we have no control over what goes on. So that there's multi-pronged attempts to get the state to change something.
Yeah.
So, and I think we should watch what's going on and see how they go. So, but anyways, thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Public Safety and Legal Affairs, Representative Wilbur.
Thank you, Chairman Frazier. We had our meeting on November 13th at 1 p.m. First up was, we entered into an executive session at my request to discuss the medical, financial, and credit employment of particular personal corporation. So matters leading to, et cetera, et cetera. We then came back out at 1:31. First on the list was Sheriff Devlin and Under Sheriff Allison. Requested approval to contract with SMRT Architects and Engineering for design services. That was approved. That's a 3-year contract that basically it will. We haven't moved forward with anything on that. Sheriff Devlin requested approval to purchase some equipment. We approved that. Requested approval for budget transfer for the remainder of the year for $19,000 for contingency to facilitate jail food. That was approved. And we also discussed maintenance on the leased vehicles. And I guess we're still waiting to find out if that's maintenance or not. Out of the enterprise.
I don't know the answer to that question, but the sheriff ended up not needing to go ahead with that transfer. I will follow up with him to see the reasoning behind that though, but he did specify that he did not need to.
So we're not doing that transfer.
Correct, yes.
Thank you. Then we moved on to public defender. Public defender spoke about possible amending resolution to contract with rural law services. After a lot of discussion, we decided to leave it as is, for the time being at least. She requested approval to create, fund, and fill managing attorney and a paralegal position commencing in January for the Title 18B office, which is totally funded by ILS. She also spoke to the potential location for this office. Landlord of 189 Main Street is waiting for a proposed lease to be forwarded to her office. And Ms. Hope Allen from her office gave an update on their strategic plan, mentioning that they are on track. And also mentioned that the distribution distribution 13 is ending this calendar year, and they're looking to extend it for another year. We went on to 911. Assistant Director Eckler, in place of Mr. O'Brien, requested approval to renew a contract with Quick Med for EMS billing. That was approved. Requested a number of transfers among accounts. That was approved. Requested approval to contract with Bassett for medical exams and hearing exams for the new 911 hires, which is now required by state law. Next up was Emergency Services Director Victor Jones. We talked at length about retaining the SMA services for the A&E design services for the Fire Training Center. That firm was selected and approved, and they gave a brief commentary on where we're going forward from there. Here's I motion for a resolution to be drafted and sent opposing the requirement for the new construction for all new construction in 2026 that can no longer contain fossil fuels. That was approved and is in today's packet. However, that is been put on hold because it's tied up in the courts. So that's where we are with that. We have our next meeting on the 11th, 1 o'clock in this room.
Thank you. Any questions for the clerk today?
And I understand you correctly said you have to recommend signing a 3-year contract with SMRT, but you don't know what story.
Oh, we know what it's for.
Yeah.
It covers a wide range of things. We haven't activated any of that yet.
Right, because in the resolution, it says it's specifically for building a new jail.
Well, there's other things in there.
Right, and then it talks about
But we have not.
continue negotiations, so really that figures. If you're still negotiating, what's gonna be in the what the
That
design,
would be the ceiling.
that number would be the ceiling, but it could be
Correct.
less. Or it
Yes.
could be more, depending.
No, that's the ceiling.
But down the line, we've often revised.
Well, it'd have to go before the board. and
Right,
For reapproval.
right. Just thought that needed to be a little more detail presented at Really specifically for
It's
building
not,
jail.
it is a 3-year contract. It's not,
Right.
it is a 3-year. contract. That was on RFP, put out.
Correct, correct.
That is a
But he
ceiling.
didn't mention that, so I
So
just
it
want
could
to make
be-
sure that got
It
in.
could be less than that based on whatever services we decide or not to go forward with.
Right. I just think it needs to be on record that specifically it's for building a new jail.
The design is in there, however, we haven't decided to do that.
Right, that's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
So that's why we didn't.
The resolution does say engineering services for creating a new Otsego County Public Safety Building.
We haven't decided to do
But
it.
the board has not decided to do that, so. Be a little premature to say that.
It's more on design and layout of the property to see what the potential is.
Right, present time.
Right, yeah.
So,
So
you
it's
want me to
preliminary
elaborate on that?
engineering.
I'm not sure.
You want me to elaborate
I'm
on
not
that?
sure.
So if and when we decide, if we were to move forward with a jail or a public safety facility, that facility would take priority over other possible entities on that property for security and for operational needs. So the present ask, the possible ask right now online for this firm is to, between their expertise, Commission on Corrections, and Mr. Katita, is determine a location best suited for that facility, if we decide in the future to do that, and reserve that portion so that we don't build anything else on it.
Good, that's good that that information is out.
Thank you. Any other thoughts?
It's been, we discussed it in open meeting, so I mean, it's not.
I mean, are there other ideas of what's gonna go on that property? Like, is that a concern?
Well, some were talking
Fire
about.
training center.
Right.
Fires.
Highway garage.
Highway garage, potentially.
Right, but all county entities, I mean.
Correct.
yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
but out of all the county entities, a correctional facility, because of its mission, would have a higher priority of location because of the security and operational needs. And they're also much more stringent, seen by a state agency, Commission on Corrections, that would weigh in on that.
Anything else is fine. Thank you. Solid waste environmental concern for Lenny Quist.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We met on the 13th at 11 a.m. Our next meeting is the 11th, also at 11 a.m. in this room. December 11th. Tammy Harris gave us an update on the strategic plan for solid waste and the planning department in general. And still waiting some further details on the clear plan component of that project and strategic plan. Kyle King then gave us our solid waste report. Those details are all in the minutes. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Representative Kennedy talked about the soil and water report. Specifically about some salt shed grants for various towns that they're working on. In a big storage project in Mount Vision. That's almost done, I guess.
It's getting closer. They had a lot of stuff going in and out of there, the last time I drove by.
He then gave an update on the Southern Transfer Station, on the progress with the redesign for that facility with Delta. And hopes to be going out to bid at the end of the year, which is coming right up. We also got an update on the Waste Smart Business recycling at Hillside Commons. They've applied for certification, was awarded gold status, which is excellent for practice, their recycling practices, and we're working with other businesses to get involved in that as well. I also noted that it's time for licensed haulers at the waste transfer facilities to get their renewals in for 26 and 27.
We want to make sure we get that word out there. They should have all been notified directly if there's any new haulers. They need to know that they have to get that permitting. Ag and Markets is up for its review process on the agricultural districts coming up in August 26th. So those renewals will be coming in shortly. Mattresses, we've had excessive problems with contamination of mattresses. So that's caused the price to go up to $55 a unit. And their proposal to go up to $55 a unit, and that was approved by the committee. And that was pretty much it. It was a relatively short and uneventful meeting.
Thank you. Any questions for the chair?
Just one comment. The $55 is for the unrecyclable.
Right.
mattress. So like,
Right.
just to be clear.
Ones
that's
that
the
are
ones that
contaminated.
cannot go into the regular recycling process, and
Correct.
that's what we have today, so we're kind of senior.
Correct. Sorry.
Any other question for the chair? And then Representative Kennedy, administration.
Thank you, Chairman Frazier. We met on November 20th at 9 a.m. and our next meeting is December 18th at 9 a.m. And I would like to pull resolution 380 and 381, which is the budget and the related document, 381. So I just want to make sure I got that on the record. Our next meeting is on the record. And our meeting is, as with all the meetings, is available to be live streamed by YouTube. So just remind everyone of that. So our meeting, we had, and during my presentation today, we're going to have Alan come up from the treasurer's office and give us an update on the election. So when he comes in, we will be doing that as well. So community services, we talked about the criminal court payments and made the approval to pay them and also do the budget transfer. We also waived the RFP for their electronic medical record that it's time to be renewed. So we're going to continue with our current vendor, and that has been approved by our purchasing agent as well to do that. We also gave approval for the community services to create, fund, and fill a psychiatric nurse practitioner position. And we also approved their regrading of their M&C employees to reflect their duties and maximize staff capabilities. So then we had Department of Social Services, and we also approved contracts that they presented for renewal and did a budget modification for them. The Board of Representatives, Carol McGovern, presented information to establish a standard workday for an employee. And Sheriff Devlin presented us with a purchase, resolution, which we did approve, and a budget transfer, which we also approved. And we then discussed the RFP award for SMRT, which Representative Wilbur spoke about in his report. And I would just like to say that the administration committee approved that with the idea that, and this has happened, judging by the resolution that Dave, that you referenced, with a legal interpretation and to consult with the purchasing agent to allow phasing, which is one of the things that we wanted to make sure was in there. And also that the wording was that it was for site location and site investigation. So these were conditions that have gone forward with our county attorney's office and are in the resolution today. Highway Department, we renewed resolutions to hire the 3 temporary employees. And we also extended resolutions and amended resolutions as Representative McCarty reported. We have extended the contract for the Office for the Aging, and the county administrator and the special assistant for the county administrator presented, moving money from contingency to repay the Medicaid overpayment, to contracts, to approve the enterprise leases, and to name a privacy and security officer, which we approved. Also, we approved the budget modification for the veterans funds to move from community services to be, under the purview of the Veterans Office itself. Department of Health, we did the budget transfer, and accepted a grant from New York State. Building services, we awarded a bid for municipal solid waste for county buildings. We approved the elevator repair and budget transfers associated. And personnel, we approved the M&C faucet living adjustment and the 1-year step implementation. 911, we renewed the contracts and budget transfers. And IT, we approved the purchase of more computers. Public defender, we've received the grant update. And as previously reported, and we created, funded, and filled the position of managing attorney and paralegal, all grant funded. We had a report from our insurance agent on our unallocated insurance, and final numbers are coming. They were not yet finalized at the day of our meeting, so we will be I'm sure be finalizing them on the 18th for meeting. Planning and solid waste. Contract extensions were approved. We amended the resolution to reflect that $55 price for the unrecyclable mattresses. And the treasurer gave us an update on auction, and he is here to give everyone an update on auction. Thanks, Alan, for coming.
Yes. Auction update, because I know I've got a lot of questions. So our auction had to be moved back to January 14th. It is still the whatever you want to call it, the court order is still sitting with a judge. They have 60 days to sign it. So this is the first auction since the new Supreme Court case. So, I mean, it makes sense why the judge is taking longer than usual to sign. So we cannot do anything till that is signed. I know we've got a lot of questions about posting it online. If we post it online and the judge goes through and says, oh, I don't like this or like this, that could open us up to litigation because we posted something that shouldn't have been posted that wasn't approved by courts. People have foiled the list. That is allowed. We put up there, we say, this list is not final. But that's why the list has not been posted with the auction company. We don't want to open the county to any potential litigation that could happen. It's rare and it's a small chance that it will happen, but we don't want to just do it at all. So yeah, we're just in a wait hold mode. We can't do anything until we get a signed order from the judge. If it's probably not signed the next 2 to 3 weeks, we may have to move the date back again. We can't do anything. So it's kind of out of our hands. It's been out of our hands since we submitted everything. I believe we submitted everything to the courts November. It was the second Monday in November, the 7th or whatever that Monday was. So does anyone have any specific questions that I can hopefully ask or answer? Yeah, sorry I don't have more information, but everything is out of our hands at this moment. There were 2 cases that we did receive potential case on. Denise, you probably better. It's a lawsuit's a bad word, but I'm not cases that came that we have since worked with the courts and attorneys and settled. So that's fine. But other than that, yeah.
I just thought it would be better coming from you.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of us have gotten questions from, why can't we look at it? Why can't we see it? And now everyone has the same information. So,
Every Monday, I asked for an update from our attorneys. They reached out Monday to the courts and just said that they're still reviewing it. So until then, there's nothing we can really do. I'm hopeful that it happens to get signed in the next week or two so that we can keep our auction on the 14th. But, if it's not signed, you've got the holidays, and then we have to take the title, then the auction company has to get out to all the parcels and post the parcels, take pictures so they can get out and advertise and get people to, so that takes time too. So we just need a signed portal.
any questions for Alan? Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Email me, call anytime if anyone needs more of an update, but that's really all I have at the moment.
Thank you, Alan.
Yep.
Then you have any questions?
I just got a comment. I just hope that moving forward to that project down at the Meadows, that Public Works Committee gets more involved in it. I mean, they are responsible for land and buildings and all this, so I think they should be, even if we have to have joint meetings at whatever.
And I totally think that is the correct path to go on. As I was preparing my report, I didn't hear from Public Works, and it was kind of an obvious omission.
No action has been taken yet.
Yeah, I mean, just so everybody can be sharing the same. It's always good to be
The committee approves RFPs. Admin approves RFPs, and that's where we are.
Yeah, so we didn't do anything wrong. We just.
And we discussed this between the two of us at next meeting. We need to bring up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Special committees, negotiations, Representative McCarty.
Well. The correction officers voted down our proposal for the third time, so that is on hold till next year. The general CSCA, we met twice and things are coming, and we meet again on Monday at 1 o'clock down to the Meadows if anybody's interested. So we're working on it.
Any question? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Any questions?
That's something you want to add?
No, sir. I think you encompassed everything I need. Appreciate it. Would anyone like to talk about PRGS or technology and strategic planning?
Excuse me.
Since we have
Sorry, didn't think we had meetings.
Representative, pardon me?
I don't think we had any meetings left. We didn't have meetings.
Oh, hi.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. As everyone can witness, our county administrator is absent today. He's been having some health issues. I spoke with him yesterday. I asked him to send out an email because I was getting some questions about his absence. I asked him to send out an email to department heads and the board. Whatever he wanted to share, because I didn't think it was fair to me to attempt to relay, and I didn't have confidence I would relay it accurately. So he did send one out this morning very early, which is good. So I encourage you to check that over, because any status reports is going to come from him. So, all right. Alan, is there anything that you'd like to submit in his absence today?
No, I don't have anything further today. Yeah, if anybody has questions for our office, Steve is still in communication on these, but feel free to reach out to me if you need anything.
Sure.
I just did have a question for Representative McCartney on the negotiations with the corrections officers. Their negotiating team had agreed to that, correct? And then they put it to the general membership who.
It went down.
So the negotiating team supported it, their negotiating team, but then the membership is the one that's voting it down.
Right.
I know this is a little out of the ordinary. Our corrections officer in the back is shaking his head no. I don't know if he wants to speak to that.
agree with that statement.
Oh, okay, I was just asking if that was the case, I didn't know.
I asked Representative McCarthy if the process had changed. As paper I had, tentative agreement was only signed by 4 individuals. You,
our lieutenant, the sheriff, and former lieutenant. So who's representing our line staff?
It's good information to know.
You said the process hasn't changed. You said everybody in the room had signed paper. Everybody in the room signed a show-up paper, maybe.
Oh.
But the tentative agreement was only signed by 4 people.
So how did it, well, this shouldn't be,
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
we,
Check
Obviously,
on it.
more to come on this.
but there's some questions here.
okay.
That's what I was wondering, what the disconnect was there. Thank you.
We'll look into that. Right, thank you. Are there any other boards, committees, commissions that anyone would like to, report on? Good morning. We just skipped by you. Was there anything you'd like to?
No, I think we had canceled our meetings for November,
Okay.
so nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Were there any other committees, commissions, reports? Hearing none. Do you want to discuss at mid-month?
Sure, whenever.
We are scheduling a mid-month meeting, which is our habit over here to tie up any loose ends. We'd like to do that on the 15th. Can we do 9 or 10 in the morning? And get a quorum here?
I don't know. Yeah, but that morning.
Who will be to attend? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Like at 9 in the morning?
I might be
We're
able-
trying to do it early. 9?
I have a doctor's appointment at
And
10.
the 15th?
Yes.
You know how long these ones take. You know,
Yeah.
we should be here 20 minutes, half hour maybe.
I'm good.
If that's the case, I'm good.
All right. So we got 8 or 9. Okay, so we're gonna post that.
I guess.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
You said 9 o'clock.
On the 15th.
Thank you.
That's the 15th.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need a motion to dispense with the reading of all reports and resolutions.
I move that we dispense with the reading for resolutions.
Second.
Shannon,
Bless you.
thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. They call for a second on the consolidated health petitions, total 2025 election expense for 2026 tax roll, solid waste expense for 2026 tax roll, 2025 in-rem cancellations and unpaid village taxes.
So,
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there any representative wishing to remove the resolution from the consent agenda today? 380 and 381. We'll need a call for action on the consent agenda.
so. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Fraser,
Aye.
Powers.
Aye.
Brockway.
Aye.
Caton. Kennedy. Mickle. Bliss.
Yes.
Marietta.
Yes.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Mendez.
Aye.
Martini. Scanlon.
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Consent agenda, 382 to 421. 100 ayes, no noes, no absent, no abstentions. Consent agenda passed.
Resolution 380, adopting Otsego County budget for 2026. Kennedy, McCarty, Wilbur, Martini, Marietta, Caton. So I pulled the budget so that we could make the changes that we had discussed throughout the process. Yes. It was a consolidated list of them around. So there were a certain amount of changes that we had to make. It is on this list. I'm sorry to say, I didn't add them all up. It was on a piece of paper that I did not bring with me. But the net changes are that the coroners and medical examiners are going down, about 38,000 going down. County treasurer's revenues have a down of 20,000. County clerk personal service an increase of 1,900. County attorney personal service of a decrease of 61,330. County building the old jail a contractual change of 462. County office building personal service a change up of 60,561. Cooperstown office building contractual up 380. Unallocated insurance a contractual down 132,674. Contingent going up 240,873. Probation going down 13,833. Mental health revenues of 8,7,928. Mental health personal service 50,352. And those are the changes that we wanted to put into the budget.
Who wanted to do those changes?
Remember those discussed?
These were put together. Well, obviously, we got the numbers in from Mike Hutcherson on the insurance, right? So, no, we didn't. That's just
I think maybe if
you
want to let Alan speak for that.
I see could be.
Yeah, most of those are just corrections. Jeanette's position was added. The ones for county clerk were just adjustments because the numbers were in slightly incorrectly. Coroners and unallocated insurance, that got duplicated between the decision package process and what was already existing in Munis, so those came back down. So everything there is basically just small corrections to what was in the budget that was either entered erroneously or that we got additional information after the parent committee process. If there's specific questions on any of them, I can explain any of the individual items if you would like.
So does that stay at the 5%?
That is correct. The property tax is still at the 5%. And overall, the budget, there's no net change to the budget. We are still at the same amount of fund balance. So we're not adding anything to the
Just
fund
correcting the
balance.
numbers that were.
So
That is correct.
these changes, she read off a number of 240 grand that's going into contingency. Those are the reductions, the corrections were positive to us, all right? So more money went into contingency because these other lines were corrected.
That is correct. Yeah, the corrections ended up with a net savings of 240
So
some
it doesn't
thousand.
change the budget
So
at
we-
all. The only thing really changing is all those lines are corrected. And the savings was going into contingency if we need it for the coming year.
Yes, that's correct.
Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have it ahead of time.
Yeah. Been better to if I presented it in a more coherent way. But thank you, Alan, for
You're welcome.
adding clarity. And sometimes we do change the budget in a more substantive way. So we don't have any of those changes.
It's good to increase contingency savings.
Yeah, that was a decision made Monday afternoon, that instead of changing all the lines, let's put it in the contingency, because our contingency this year is less than it has been in the last couple of years, so, that, and it doesn't change the actual budget at all, the total figure. All right. Did we get a second on those changes? We need a second on those changes.
Second.
Scanlon. It's amended.
Fix up them. Resolution.
So you were can this be all or be amended or no? It should be. We're gonna do roll call vote to make the amendment.
This is just to make the amendment.
Make the amendment.
Fraser,
Aye.
Powers,
Aye.
Barclay,
Aye.
Caton, Kennedy, Mickle, Bliss,
Yes.
Marietta,
Yeah.
Hardy,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Mendez,
Yes.
Martini, Scanlon,
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Resolution to amend resolution 380. 100 ayes, no noes, no absent. Passes. Now we need a motion to pass 380 as amended.
So
Martini, second.
Second.
Scanlon. Roll call vote on resolution 380A amended.
Fraser,
Aye.
Powers,
Aye.
Barclay,
Aye.
Caton, Kennedy, Mickle, Bliss,
No.
Marietta,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Mendez,
Yes.
Martini, Scanlon,
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Resolution 380, 93 ayes, no, 7 noes, no abstentions, and no absent. 88 passes.
Resolution 381, making appropriations for the conduct of Otsego County government for the year 2026. Kennedy, McCarty, Wilbur, Martini, Marietta, Caton.
Second. Rockwood, second.
It goes with 380, so now that 380 has been done as amended, I think we can just go ahead and do this one as it stands. No. That's one amending.
Resolution 381. Roll call vote.
Fraser,
Aye.
Powers,
Aye.
Barclay,
Aye.
Caton, Kennedy, Mickle, Bliss,
Yes.
Marietta,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Mendez,
Yes.
Martini, Scanlon,
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Resolution 381, 100 ayes, no noes, no absent, no abstentions. If there are no objections, late resolution A will be presented and acted upon in accordance with the rules of order.
Late resolution A will be 422, authorizing the county administrator or the chair of the board to contract with Elevate Incorporated for elevator repairs. McCarty, Wilbur, Marietta, Scanlon, Mendez.
second, or do I need to
Yep.
vote first?
Martini, second, thank you. Any discussion? We're good?
We need an elevator.
Yes.
Especially that building. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you. Hearing no discussion, roll call vote.
Frazier,
Aye.
Powers,
Aye.
Brockway,
Aye.
Caton, Kennedy, Mickle, Bliss,
Yes.
Marietta, McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Mendez,
Yes.
Martini,
Aye.
Scanlon,
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Resolution 422, 100 ayes, no noes, no absent, no abstentions. If there are no objections, late resolution B will be presented and acted upon in accordance with the rules of orders.
Resolution late B will be 423, transferring and modifying funds in various departments for 2025. Kennedy, McCarty, Wilbur, Martini, Marietta, Caton.
Second, okay.
Second.
Nora,
Second.
thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Frazier,
Aye.
Powers,
Aye.
Brockway,
Aye.
Caton, Kennedy, Mickle, Bliss,
Yes.
Marietta,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Mendez,
Yes.
Martini, Scanlon,
Aye.
Basile.
Yes.
Resolution 423, 100 ayes, no noes, no absent, no abstentions, 423. Stop.
Representative Chairman, I would like to bring a resolution from the floor recognizing Richfield Springs and OMDY girls varsity soccer team.
Thank you, sir.
You know what? Do you want any of these up here?
And one, thank you. If there are no objections, late resolution from the floor will be presented and acted upon in accordance with the rules of order.
From the floor, resolution will be 424. Otsego County recognizes the Richfield Springs ODY girls varsity soccer team, McCarty.
Read it.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Yeah, second.
Thank you.
No, I already did it.
Whereas Otsego County is most proud of the accomplishments of the Richfield Springs ONDY girls varsity soccer team as the 2025 girls soccer champion for Tri Valley League, capturing their second straight title, and the 2025 New York State Public High School Section 4 girls soccer championship, which is the first time in school history. And thereas the team has ignited special community spirit for our Otsego, for the county and its sports enthusiasm. Now there be said, resolved that the Otsego County Board of Representatives recognize the 2025 Richfield Springs ONDY High School girls soccer team for their outstanding season. Congratulations for a successful season and a job well done.
Any discussion?
Congratulations. Move.
Good job. Thank you. All those in favor signify by calling aye. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 424 is adopted. Thank you. McCarty. Mm. Do we have any unfinished business today?
Earlier, I spoke about a resolution that went through PSLA and admin opposing the elimination of any form of fossil fuels in future construction. I was mistaken. That resolution did not make the packet, and I would ask that it be prepared and voted on the 15th.
Okay. No special order today. I guess we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Adjourn, thank you.
It's only 11:15.
Allow him to say it.
Text me if I want to be late.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll continue. No, I'm happy.
Recording stopped.
Continue. Yeah.
Yep.